So in this video, I wanted to go over some frugal living tips and some saving tips for you guys. So to start off, if you don't know already, I'm active duty Air Force. I'm in the military, and I paid off over $26,000 of debt in 15 months. And I framed it because it's such a big deal to me. And in this video, I wanted to show you and kind of share some things I did to get started and stay debt-free. I'm 35. I have a daughter. She's 8 months old. And if you hear her, she's over here beside me. And I started my debt-free journey about in 2016 when my dad was sick and I couldn't afford a plane ticket to fly from Alabama to, I couldn't afford a plane ticket to fly from Idaho to Alabama. And my credit card was maxed and I had a car payment and I wasn't in a good spot. So that was kind of the trigger for me to start my debt-free journey. That was my motivation. So you should have a motivation to start being debt-free and saving and investing and all that. You need motivation to start and you need motivation to keep going. So that was my motivation to start. Coffee. And then in February 2019, I became debt-free. And shortly thereafter, my father passed away in the same month. So that was just like a sign of some kind. Yeah. So, you want this one? I know. So in February 2019, I became debt-free. And then COVID hit into 2020. And a lot of my friends lost their job. They worked less. They weren't making as much money. And they didn't have emergency funds or savings. So I got a lot of questions because they were in these tough places. And that was my inspiration to start the YouTube channel. So, and this is really a hobby, like a creative outlet for me. So I really like it. I'm an introvert. So this kind of helps me with like the public speaking that I have to do for my job. So it's a win-win. So once I started paying off debt, my motivation to keep going was YouTube videos. So I watched the Dave Ramsey debt-free screams. I watched Debt-Free Dana. She doesn't put out videos anymore, but I still recommend going and watching her videos. And then Budget Girl, she went through a debt-free journey too. And I recommend her videos. She's still putting out videos. It's mostly real estate stuff, but you can go back and watch her debt-free journey and saving for her emergency fund and things like that. So definitely recommend Budget Girl and Debt-Free Dana. All right, so now I'm going to go over some saving tips that I recommend you using. I know it. The first one is a budget. Nailing down your grocery budget is going to be the most difficult thing when you start budgeting. I'm still working on it, especially with formula. Okay. And then get rid of the credit cards, get rid of your debt is another channel, like another conversation we can have. But if you owe other people money, if you have to pay other people, you can't pay yourself. So getting rid of those credit cards and paying off consumer debt, that's going to go a long way because then you can put that money toward investing and saving. So the next thing I recommend is start investing. And you should have started yesterday is basically what they say. And it took me forever to get started. But once I learned how to even open an account, I just opened an account with Vanguard. And yeah, so I opened an account with Vanguard. And you should put 15% of your household income into retirement. So Roth IRA is what I use. And then I did a video on this before, but I don't try and keep up with the Joneses. So if you try and keep up with the Joneses, you're just going to be in more debt and more trouble because the Joneses are probably broke, y'all. So don't try and keep up with them. Be weird. Don't try and keep up with other people. So every month is different when you're thinking about saving money and spending money and budgeting for things. We know Christmas is going to be every December, right? It's not a surprise. So think about buying presents early or buying consumable gifts. What I did for the 3-ish Christmases that I was going through my debt-free journey is I made gifts. So one year I made soap, one year I made candles, and then another year I made bath bombs. And those were my Christmas gifts to everybody. So I didn't buy expensive things. I didn't go into debt, more debt. I just gave people gifts that I made. Another tip I have is for the bills that you have every month, if you get a discount for setting up automatic payments, go ahead and set up the automatic payment. But for me, I like to set up the automatic payment to get the discount, but I still go in and pay it for whatever day I want to pay it. So I know that they're not charging me extra. It's the same price. It's the price I understand and I agree with every month. And they don't have my bank information. It's not, I just don't, I don't like paying automatic payments, like set it and forget it. That's how the subscriptions get you. That's how, like the Amazon Prime is fine. I have that one. It's not automatic though. But anyway, consider that to set it up for automatic payment, but still go in and pay it for the month. Okay. Hope that makes sense. All right. So here's some frugal tips that I have for you. And frugal tips and saving tips, I know, kind of go hand in hand. They're very much related, but this is more like a lifestyle thing than a saving money, investing kind of thing. All right. So one of the number one things is to have more than one stream of income. So I have my 9-to-5 day-to-day job, which is a paralegal in the Air Force. But you can also consider other side hustles like Etsy, YouTube, delivering pizza is a popular one. When I was going through my debt-free journey, I sold a bunch of stuff on Facebook Marketplace. I sold old video games and college books. And last week I sold an old mirror that I had for $50. And the lady came by and picked it up. And now with PayPal and Venmo and Cash App, she like paid me in that moment and then picked up the mirror like the next day. So that was a quick $50 I made just with stuff laying around the house. And if you live in a neighborhood that you're comfortable with, if they have a neighborhood Facebook group, get in that Facebook group. And that's where you can buy stuff for really cheap and sell stuff for really cheap. I bought a desk that I'm using right now for $20 and it's huge. It's a huge black desk. So that was a win. All right. The next thing is, let's see, buy in bulk. That is a good tip for things that you use all the time, like toothpaste. If you see toothpaste on discount at the grocery store, just buy a ton of it. If it's half off, because you know you're going to use it. And then that's like an instant money win that you got. All right. I have ditch cable on my list, but I don't think a lot of people have cable anymore. But I will say, when I was going through my debt-free journey, I had good cell phone service for my cell phone plan, and I canceled my Wi-Fi. I had satellite internet. I had like DirecTV. I canceled that. But then also I canceled my Wi-Fi, and that saved me like $50 a month. So consider canceling your Wi-Fi if you don't need it. All right, skipping the salon. So you might know that I used to be a blonde. I was a blonde for a long time, and I identify as a blonde. But y'all, highlights are expensive. So when I was going through my debt-free journey, I went back to brunette because in the military, I can't have my roots come in. I have to maintain that color, right? So every 6 weeks or less, I would have to go in and get highlights, and that would be $200 easy, and that includes tip. And you just can't afford that, especially if you're going through a debt-free journey. I know. So I went back to brunette. Okay, honey. And then, so I already talked about making gifts instead of buying them. That was another big thing. And think about some things you can have for fun that are free, like having people over, cooking food that you buy at the grocery store and having people come over and eating at your house or going to their house or going to a park. Because as you notice, every time you leave the house, you're probably going to spend some money. So staying at home is a big money saver because you can do activities at home for things you're already paying for, like your Amazon Prime subscription. Just watch stuff at home. All right, fitness at home. So I invested in a treadmill a long time ago, and we get like a free gym membership on the military base. But think of like if you're trying to do exercise at home, you can watch YouTube exercise videos. Let me put her back in her thing. She's a little restless. So stop impulse buying. So when I'm up with my daughter at like 1 or 2 a.m., one of the things I have to keep myself from doing is getting on Amazon and shopping for things. So try not to impulse buy, especially in the middle of the night. Okay. So she's hungry, so I'm going to have to wrap up now. But if you want to send me your email address, I'll send you a savings breakdown that I have from Dave Ramsey, and I'll send you my first budgeting template that I used when I was going through my debt-free journey. So if you want to email me saying that you want those handouts, you can email me at Jessica Bauer, so Jessica Bauer, Bauer, 2222 at gmail.com. So Jessica Bauer 2222 at gmail.com. And I can send you this saving spreadsheet that I have and that basic breakdown of my budget when I was first starting out in my debt-free journey. So this is a little bit more hectic than I anticipated, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Yes.